will want to put advertising, etc., affiliate products on your site. There's nothing wrong with that, but have a nice balance of those links and also have a nice balance of other links. If you're talking about a subject, link out to other web pages that are authorities on those subjects. I mean, Wikipedia is a great place to link to. They've got an article on basically everything. So my dog trainer example could link out to a Wikipedia article about various breeds of dogs or about dog training and care techniques, etc. If you are using outbound advertising links as well, you'll probably want to throw a no-follow tag onto some of those links as well, so they aren't considered when the spiders come and spider your site as part of the optimization. And the focus these days is on branding. Branding is really where Google is going. What you are trying to do is establish yourself or your site as a brand. There are a number of ways that you can do that. We'll probably touch on that on a separate seminar on its own, because branding and reputation management is becoming a big thing. 2 Google properties that you can use to your advantage in branding are YouTube and Google+. I mean, you can use Twitter, Facebook, etc., but YouTube and Google+ probably rank higher in their eyes than anything else, and they're great ways to establish a consistent brand, because Google is kind of looking at your search engine results the same way you look at things when you go to the grocery store. If you're heading to Loblaws or IGA and you're in certain departments, you will see that all the name brands, the things that you're most familiar with, are sitting there at easy level on the shelf, etc., when you can see them. The not-so-known brands are sitting around them, etc. Google search results are starting to look more and more like that. So the more you can do your own branding, either personal branding or corporate branding, the better it is for you. And finally, monitoring those inbound links. You have to consistently do this. As I said earlier, that some of those inbound links can hurt you, and of course you have no idea, like right now you can be sitting here and somebody can be linking to your site. It may or may not be a good thing. And so you're going to say, well, Bill, how can I monitor those inbound links? What can I do? And that's a good segue into the next bit over here, the tools that we can use. There are a couple of new tools that have been released in the last year. This particular one I'm going to talk about, I think, came out last May. This is the Google Disavow Links tools, and it's part of your Google Webmaster tools. Google Webmaster tools itself has a feature in which you can click on a thing on the menu that says links to you, and it'll show you every site that's linking to you, and it'll also show you whether it's a good link or a bad link, and you can view it, you can download it as a CSV file, etc., and look at it later. And you may indeed find there's a bunch of links coming here I don't want to be considered when Google comes and spiders my site. And of course you can't go out and get those links off the external sites, but you can use the Disavow Links tool. What you do with this thing is you enter your domain name into the little box over here, click on it, it'll give you a list of the links coming in, and you can check off the links that you do not want Google to consider when they are ranking your site. And so this is an important thing to do periodically. It's a relatively new tool. I think, as I said, it came out in May. Another excellent tool is the Barracuda Digital Penguin tool, and that is not a misspelling of penguin. That is actually, I think, an amalgamation of a penguin and a panda. And I got to admit, when I first saw that, I started thinking about that. I started thinking of a penguin mating with a panda. I couldn't get that out of my head. I felt really sorry for the penguin. But the Penguin tool is actually a great tool. It'll analyze your site, and it'll tell you what is wrong with it in view of the Panda and the Penguin updates. It works in conjunction with your Google Analytics. You basically go into here and you give it access to analytics. It's one-time access. They don't hold your data or anything like that. But they will examine your analytics on your site and report back to you all of the factors that they see that may be risky in light of the Panda and the Penguin updates. And then, of course, you can take the action for it. I'm going to give you the link to this tool in a couple of minutes in the resources section here. Also, I'm sad to announce the death of the Google Keyword tool. Those of you who have been using this tool for many years for keyword research may have noticed lately, if you've gone to look for it, it's gone. Google started phasing the tool out back in May. I believe they completed that phase out in July. And of course, the keyword tool was never meant for SEO purposes. It was really meant for people using Google's AdWords program. They have replaced this, and now if you have a link to the old keyword tool in your AdWords account, you'll now come up with a Google Keyword Planner. Again, this is a tool that is really meant for AdWords advertisers, but it can be used to do keyword research. Now, it's not as intuitive as the old Google Keyword tool was, and I admit when I first got into it, I had to kind of fumble around before I could do keyword research with it. But they do have a number of great instructions, including some instructional videos that you can look at when you're in the Keyword Planner tool. It'll help you make use of the thing. And again, although it's made for AdWords advertisers, it can also be used for SEO keyword research. So I want to give you a few resources here. I've talked so much about Google, it's only fair to mention they're not the only kid in town. Bing's Webmaster tools are actually very, very good. A lot of people kind of tend to ignore Bing, but their Webmaster tools are constantly being updated. They just did a few updates recently. They've got a great set of tools over there, and they work in a similar fashion to Google's. They give you a little HTML snippet that you put on your website to verify site ownership, and then you can use a number of these tools. One feature that I like is it actually emails you when it sees stuff on your site that it thinks you should pay attention to. I noticed a few of my sites I've got to take a look at. I got a few emails from Bing this week about them. So don't think Google is the only game in town. They're really good tools as well. Of course, the Google Webmaster tools goes without saying. You should be using these. The link disavow tool I told you was on there, but there are a number of other great tools on there. They've actually started to give you more information about what you should be looking for in light of the Penguin and Panda updates, because a lot of people have been complaining because a lot of sites got knocked off of page 1. Some of them deserve to be knocked off of page 1, but there are a bunch of sites that were honestly on page 1 that just got knocked off inadvertently. So Google has been giving out a bit more information on their Webmaster tools. In fact, they just did an update, it was just a few days ago, the 9th of August, I believe, on the Webmaster tools to give you more information about what your site was doing in line with Panda and Penguin and the corrections you could make. So you definitely want to be using the Webmaster tools as well. I told you that it was impossible to predict the future as far as SEO goes, etc., as far as Google updates go, but the closest you'll come to predicting it is to go to Matt Cutt's blog. Matt is the guy at Google, love him or hate him, who has been responsible for all of these updates. And his blog, he announces what's coming up with the Google updates. It's a very readable blog. It's not a bunch of technical jargon. And he announces exactly what it is Google's looking for, what they're not looking for, etc. So if you're into SEO, this is pretty well required reading to go to Matt's blog. And finally, I'd mentioned the Barracuda digital tool, the Penguin tool. That's the link to it up there if you want to notice. It's a company up in the UK. And it's a free tool. It's free to use, etc. And there's a number of resources I haven't put on here just because everybody who has been in some of these meetups before has probably seen them before. But there's sites like SEO Moz, Search Engine Journal, the Yoast site, for example, SEO Book. Those websites are always great resources for great articles about the latest in SEO and for actual practical techniques you can use on your website. Again, I've mentioned them in a number of our previous meetups, and they are always still great resources. So that concludes the first presentation. If you've got any questions now, I will happily take them. Yes?
I have a friend who's a lawyer who's representing a financial advisor that had previous troubles with his association. Basically, he had a disciplinary decision against him a while ago for a mistake he'd done when he was younger. Basically, he borrowed money from a client, which is legal. Recently, he told me that a SEO business or communication business called the financial advisor asking if he wants to optimize his image on the internet, and he refused. And from this way now, the decision is the #1 result in Google. The decision against
You mean it almost looks like somebody optimized a negative decision?
Exactly. Is there a tool that's actually the contrary from this disavow tool that maybe you have to report to Google about possible defamation?
You can report things like that to Google, although Frankly, I don't know what your success is going to be with that. You probably weren't here for one of our previous ones, when we had Herman over here.